Good day, Exceed Summer Festival participants. How are you all doing today? I'm not sure when you're watching this, if it's morning or evening, but sending greetings to you from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, in the United States. My name is Toyin. I am by training a public health pharmacist. I work for the most vulnerable Philadelphians in a local county agency. And I'm also an author, a newly published author of a 52-week devotional coloring book for women titled Worthy. So this is Worthy. And I was invited to join this amazing summer festival this summer as in the devotional section. So today we're actually going to get to go through the book a little bit, but more importantly, we're going to actually go through a devotion together. But before I go any further, a little bit about myself. I am a mom of two beautiful daughters, 3 and 5, and a wife. I am also, a fun fact about me is that I love music. I'm a singer, and even though it's not the forefront right now in my life, I had a little stint for like 5 years in my 20s where I was doing weddings, and I've sang at about 10 weddings. So that's a little fact that not many people know about me. Some do, but I thought you guys should know that little fun fact today. So a little bit more about Worthy. So as I mentioned, it's a 52-week devotional coloring book for women. It was released December of 2019, and my inspiration or the reason why I wrote that book is simply because, in our world today, I feel that we're always so much in a rush. I would say a little slower in the last couple of months due to the pandemic, but even in the slowness, many of us are still really busy because we're working from home. We're just not physically running around, but we're still pretty occupied, right? So my inspiration for Worthy was really to write a devotional that folks could not necessarily rush through. I found myself oftentimes getting through devotionals, just racing through it to get what I need to get for the day. But what I would find out is I wasn't really marinating the material. It wasn't really changing my life. And I wanted to do a little different with this devotional. And so the Worthy devotional is broken up into 8 themes, as you can see here in the table of contents. The 8 themes cover from your foundation all the way to growing in hope, and then it ends with starting over. So the idea of those themes is it's that any woman who picks up the Worthy devotional, they can start wherever they feel like they are in their life right now. Unlike many devotionals today, you don't have to go from cover to cover from the beginning. You can pick a theme that resonates with you and start there, and then work your way through the book as you prefer, right? So today we're going to be picking one of a devotion that I really think resonates right now as we're in the midst of this pandemic. All right, so I'll just show you before we jump in a couple of some of the ones that I've personally colored in the devotion. Don't know if you can see this well. I think you can. There we go. All right. So each devotion, as I said, there's 52 of them overall in the book. The idea is that you're going through a devotion and the illustration in a week. So you don't have to rush through it. You can come back after you start the weeks. You can color a little bit every day during that week. It just kind of forces you to ensure that you're really assimilating the material and connecting with God, more importantly. That's the whole purpose of a devotion, right? It's not just to acquire knowledge, but to actually get what you're reading and connect with God and grow in your relationship with Him, right? Another one I wanted to show you, this one actually is my most recently colored one. It says, don't worry about anything, instead pray about everything. So I just colored this recently. And, not to forget to mention, the illustrations were done by Amanda Arnold, who is a very talented graphic designer that I was fortunate to have met. And she just grabbed hold of the vision and did an amazing job. So, coloring is very, relaxing, therapeutic. But imagine after you've already received some inspirational words and you've made a declaration or a prayer, then closing it out over the course of that week with some meditative coloring. All right. So now, one last thing before we do the actual devotion. Um, my favorite story so far about since the book has been released. What I didn't mention to you was that prior to the release of the book, I had friends and family, really close friends and family, help me raise a couple of $1,000s. And the idea for the fundraising, the purpose of it was I wanted to be able to donate right off the bat a couple hundred books to women in desperate need of hope. So at different points in our life, right, we um, need hope, we need encouragement, but there are some women who are in a more desperate place. They are in shelters, they are homeless, they are in addiction. And so, with the help of those supporters, I was able to donate 200 books and counting to those women. And that has been such a blessing to me to hear. Also, another thing that I've found very exciting and unexpected is that younger women are loving the book. So um, I guess hope resonates cross generationally, right? It's not only for middle aged or 30s or whatever, but a lot of my friends with daughters are telling me that their older daughters are like, "Oh, mom, can I color or can I use the book with you?" And they're like, "No, that's mom's book," right? So that's been a joy for me because sometimes you have something on your mind and a vision, right? You don't know what's on the other side. So that's been exciting to see it resonate with so many women out there and that they're actually being encouraged by it. All right, so now it's your turn, and I'm hoping that you also are encouraged by this. Today we're going to be landing on page 73. Remember I told you there's 8 themes in the book, right? So we're going to be going today through this theme. You are not without help. Receive relief. The quote here says, "Leave every single burden with God, who alone is capable of gifting you lasting relief." All right? So we're going to be doing this devotion titled Traveling Light. The key verse for this devotion is Matthew 11:28 through 30. "Come to me, all of you who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. You will find rest for your souls, for my yoke is easy to bear, and the burden I give you is light." These are the words of Jesus to us. And now I'm going to the body of the devotion. I remember a season of my life when I had so many balls in the air. I was getting a degree, I was working, caregiving to a sick family member, mothering an infant, and my husband was also in school and working full time. Although most of these responsibilities were blessings, right, and things we had prayed for, experiencing them all at once for 2 years regularly regularly taking God up on today's verses. I was constantly in need of his refreshing amidst my weariness. If I'm honest, and I'm honest, I am still regularly in need of his deep rest for my soul. Although that specific season successfully passed, I now have 2 toddlers and other new responsibilities. I found it noteworthy that Jesus acknowledges our heavy burdens and the fact that they make us weak and tired. In his thoughtfulness, though, Jesus goes a step further to offer an alternative. He says that in coming to him, we receive rest and a lighter weight. Furthermore, in communing with him and not withdrawing, in embracing his way and not rejecting it, true rest really can be ours. A final point worth highlighting is that the word rest, as used in this verse today, means to keep quiet and to be of calm and patient expectation. You know, expectation is often easily lost in hard times. But today, God is beckoning you, He's beckoning you to come to Him with expectation and to bring all those pains that you've now planned your life around. He promises that He can relieve you of those burdens that you have dismissed as part of life. And He will, and He wants to give you the rest you want and need so you can recover, recollect your strength, and regain momentum. So that's the end of the devotion section. And now there is a declarative prayer section. You going to say this with me? All right. Say this. Lord, I confess that your way is better and your weight is lighter. I declare that I walk in faith and with great expectation of your goodness. I declare that in you I can and I will recover, recollect my strength, and regain my momentum for the race that I have to run. In Jesus' name. And so the final section of the devotion is the reflection section here. You can see it's not long, right? But we're not going to be going through that today because that section is just kind of giving you words to ponder on as you color. So let me show you the illustration that matches what I just read. Remember that verse was, "Come to me, all of you who are weary, and I will give you rest." A woman pictured here on a hammock that's connected to trees. So you can see that, when you think of a hammock, whether or not you have one, whether or not you can, the idea there is you're in a state of relaxation. Perhaps you're reflecting, pondering, counting your blessings, maybe praying. And so after reading the devotion, declaring that prayer, one could say, that's it for the day. I'm going to ponder this, come back tomorrow, start the coloring, go back and read a little bit, and really get to a point where we get to feel like we're receiving the rest from God. All right, so that concludes the one devotion I was going to go over with you or go through with you guys today. And I hope that it encouraged you or uplifted you in some way. I don't want to just run off, right, without letting you know a little bit more about the book, or if you're interested in accessing it, where to find it. You can find it on the website at www.toyinfadeyibi.com. So that's TOYINFADEYIBI.com. All right, so in this desperate times that we're in amidst a crazy global pandemic, as well as racial tensions, racism, hatred in our country, in the U.S., and a lot of parts in the world are going through some pain. There is no better time than now to connect to God and really get infused with hope and a vision for the future, a future filled with justice and filled with just things that are amazing and people's dreams being realized in a world where it's safe to realize them. All right, so for the sake of the Exceed Summer Festival, I do want to donate a copy of Worthy to one of you watching this. Also, I wanted to donate a 24 set of color pencils that we also released in December. So both of these will be available to one of you listeners. All you have to do is shoot me an email or find me on Instagram at Worthy Devotional. You can inbox me there as well. That works. Or contact at toyinfadeyibi.com. And all you have to do in the email is just give me a couple sentences on how that little devotion I shared with you today touched you. And what I'm going to do is everyone who sends me an email will get a little freebie of a free downloadable goodie. But the person I select for the free goodies, they will have it mailed to them. I will say United States only, please. For my friends watching this in other parts of the world, I will think of a way to catch you in on the fun later, but for the purpose of this particular giveaway, it would be for United States shipping only. Also, as a point, I want you guys to know, I mentioned earlier about about over 200 books now that have been donated to women in desperate need of hope. Every single book that sold, every single worthy book that sold, 15% of the proceeds are going to buy books and to support those women. So that didn't just end with the 200 that I donated. It's ongoing. With every book, there's a post proceed going. So get the word out. Let's get hope out. More importantly, people are in desperate need of hope. We are at times, but there are some folks living in perpetual hopelessness, and it's our job, right? If you're a step ahead, you got to help our brothers and sisters who are needing that love and needing that assistance. I hope you guys will enjoy the rest of the XXC Summer Festival. Thank you so much for including me in this amazing program. And I look forward to meeting you all online somewhere or in person. All right. Love you guys. Take care. God bless.